Also about refuah, so it's important. Oh, good evening, dear women. ברוכות הבאות. She's telling me everything is recorded. בסדר, יש לי כאן, תודה. Let's bless בעזרת השם שיגיע משיח צדקנו במהרה בימינו אמן. בעזרת השם שיגיע מבשר אליהו הנביא, אליהו תשבי לעגל במהרה ולמשיח בן דוד, אליהו הנביא זכור לטוב. Now, dear women, we are going to speak. I want to tell you, this Shabbat is Parashat Truma. It's Parashat Truma. You know, I checked on the internet, and the portion of Truma I didn't find there, and I didn't find also Mishpatim. So Be'ezrat Hashem, maybe it's in Torah anytime, but it's not on the screen over there. But anyway, Be'ezrat Hashem, כשיהיה לי הזדמנות, בלי נדר, I will give you פרשת תרומה, בעזרת השם, מחדש, בכדי שזה יהיה. Dear women, now I would like to tell you another thing. We are continuing Tomer Devorah, and we're in the part, you remember, I need to remind you because we had different things, so we have to remind ourselves where we were. We were at the part of the end of Mikel Kamocha, who is a God like you, and we came to the part of the first human being, Adam, before and after the sin. We are at the last part of birth, death, and resurrection. So now we are in birth. Last time we spoke, you remember how the neshama comes to this world, how there's an angel that is responsible for that God calls him, and how God speaks to the neshama, and what he tells the neshama, that she should be righteous, and she shouldn't be wicked, and she should listen to his rules, Be'ezrat Hashem, and Brocha Ba Neshama. So dear women, I would like to tell you that now I'm going to continue. The last thing that we spoke about is the name. You remember I told you, listen, it's important because then you won't understand. We'll do it together. You remember we said Nefesh Chayahu Shmo. And I told you that Rabbi Chaim Vital says, in the name of Arizal, that the soul is out of the 22 letters of the Aleph Bet. Which means, you remember there's neshama, ruach, venefesh, and Rabbi Chaim Vital says that the neshama, these parts of the neshama itself has 22 letters of the Hebrew Aleph Bet. The ruach has also 22 letters of the Hebrew Aleph Bet. And dear women, the nefesh has also 22 letters of the Hebrew Aleph Bet. The difference is that the neshama that is here, that the location of the neshama is in the mind, it has 22 letters, but big letters. The ruach that is in the heart has 22 letters, but they are medium size. And the nefesh has 22 letters, but they are small. Okay? If a person, God forbid, transgresses, which means makes a sin, does not listen to Hashem, the neshama goes back. It's still connected with a string to the human being, to that person, but it's not all around him, protecting him. And then the ruach also, and what is left is only the nefesh in order that he will survive. And with 22 letters, Hebrew letters, the holy letters, but small letters, dear women. Now, what is our job in this world? You know what is our job? Just to fill in the letters of our name. Very weird, nachon? To fill in the letters of, what do I mean fill in? Milui bemilui, filling and filling, filling and filling. What do I mean? For example, if I take the word Shem, look, I'm making a pyramid. Shem is a name, okay? So I'm filling now the name of Shem. How do I do that? The way that I write Shin exactly as I hear it, Shin, Yud, Nun, and the Mem is Mem, the Mem. Now this is first filling of the name. Now I go to the second one. As Shin is Shin, Yud, Nun, and then we have Yud, and then we have Nun, and then we have Mem, and we have Mem. This is the second line. Do you see? There's a pyramid. We're creating a pyramid. It's written in Bereshis, it's written, Zeh Sefer Toldot HaAdam. Zeh Sefer Toldot HaAdam. What is the book that speaks about all our journeys in this world? This is the book, dear women. This is the book. Everything is by letters. This is the book. What is the book? The book is filling our name. It's not a coincidence that we have the name that we have. It says Midrash Tanchuma, dear women, sit and concentrate with me so you'll understand. It says in Midrash Tanchuma, dear women. עוד מעט אני אגיד הכל. איפה?
האדם, זה אדם.
רבנו.
לא, למעלה.
שם.
לפני השם, לפני המילה.
צינור. צינור.
צינור.
זה ספר תולדות אדם. בראשית, ה' א', פרק ה', it's בראשית, chapter 5, verse 1. But listen, so you'll understand thoroughly what we are doing. So it says like this, in Parashat Vayikal, Midrash Tanchuma, dear women, it says, mitzvah goreret mitzvah. A mitzvah, good deed, helps us to do another good deed. And then avera goreret avera, sin causes us to do another sin. Why? Because once we transgress, once we do not listen to Hashem, we lose the fear of Hashem. You understand? We lose the fear. We did it, nothing happened to us. Then we have more chutzpah. You know, we are more fresh to do it again. We don't have any borders anymore. Because once we started, we continue. So if we do a good deed, we are very happy, all our soul is happy, and we continue to do another good deed. So mitzvah goreret mitzvah. There's a rabbi once who told me, how do you know that you did a good deed? That God, immediately after that, God gives you another good deed. It means that you did a good deed. And God forbid if we transgressed, if we sinned, dear women, then God forbid you can see there's another one on the way. You have to stop yourself, to border yourself. But what happens, Tov Amarti, but what happens in the spiritual world? Because it's written, look, Zeh Sefer Toldot Ha'adam. This is the book of the human being. What is the book? The book is out of letters. The soul is out of letters. The letters were created before the Torah was written. After the letters were created, Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. First the letters Aleph from Taf. The first Hebrew letter Aleph to the last Hebrew letter Taf. All of the letters, the holy letters. Then the Torah was written and God was looking at the Torah and creating the world, dear women. So let's look. So what about the name? Bezrat Hashem, little by little, Bezrat Hashem, we're going to build it. So it says, Amar Rabbi Meir, al kol mitzvah she'adam oseh mosrin lo malach leshamro. Every mitzvah that a human being does, an angel on his right side, every good deed, he has immediately an angel on his right side. If he had good intention and all his heart was in the mitzvah, and he did the mitzvah itself, so the angel has the body and the soul. The soul is from our intention, and the body is from our deed, mamash, doing the action of doing truly the mitzvah, the good deed. But the soul is from what we have in here. If it was clean, if it's otherwise, there's damages in the angel. For example, if a person did not feel comfortable, everybody donated. And he didn't want to donate truly, but everybody donated. He will donate, so the angel has a body but not a soul. He's not a full angel. But then his son will come, or he will do a mitzvah, and we will think, I want to donate, then the angel will have also a soul. You understand? Okay, so this is how we create good angels, and God forbid also bad angel on the left side, because this is the side of mercy, the right side, and the left side is the side of judgments. So Yotzer Malach. So every amen that we say, we create an angel. When we say, because you know what amen is? When we say amen, dear women, it means that we are announcing that everything that God did in this world is true. It's like a human being, a God that is a human being that passes through the street and everybody is shouting, Yechi HaMelech, long live the king. The amen is the same thing. This is long live the king. This amen that we say, immediately when we do that, and everything again is by letters, because what is amen? What is amen? Look over here, okay? The amen. Amen, you know, in numerical value, mem is 40, nun is 50, aleph is 1, it's 91. Okay? The two names of God. Yud K Vav K, and Adnut. Okay, but Amen is also Malach. Angel. Look, Chaf in numerical value is 20, Aleph is 1, Lamed is 30, Mem is 40. How much is it? 91. You see? This is Amen. Now we did Amenim, we said Amenim. This is Ma'achal. Look, everything is with the letters, dear women. Everything in spiritual. You cannot see it. But it's spiritually. Ze Ma'achal. Ma ze Ma'achal? It's Malach. You see? Ma'achal is the letters of Malach. Mem, Aleph, Chaf. This is Chaf Ptucha, Chaf Kfufa. And then Lamed. You see over here? Ma'achal is food. Amen, we said, we ate food, we said Amen, we created an angel. Food, we answered Amen. That's why I'm telling you every time, say Amen chazak, mean it. Because you're creating an angel, ze lo stam Amen. What we did right now, we created angels, l'zchut ima Zoya bat Tamar, l'zchut ima shel Bela, alea shalom tidishim l'atzara b'tzorach chaim. So this is mamash, the food, we answer Amen, we create an angel. Look how beautiful it is. Amazing, nachon? That's the world of God. That's the true world. We see the false world. But this is the true world, yes.
So if I say the bracha, I say the Luni Shmat for Zoya Bat Tamar, and then I do the bracha, but nobody answers Amen.
Yeah.
Some people said, okay, never said...
because sometimes they don't know, they don't think about it. Listen, you have to tell, as I'll explain.
I mean, Shabbat Shomer, religious people...
It happens, and you don't want to do them.
And they never said Amen. Why?
So what happened?
Or either they forgot or they do not know. So listen what you do. Shh. I'll tell you exactly what to do in order that people will say Amen. When you come to bless, you see a man or a woman next to you, tell them, please say Amen when I bless. Okay? Tell them, mamash, bape. Please say, before you start, Ken, betach, you are not allowed. You cannot say Amen over your blessing. It has to be a person, because then he says, this means long live the king. I'm announcing that what you said now is truth. God is the king of the world. True, God is the king of the world. We just need to recognize it and announce it in the world. So you can see that we ate just a minute. So what? I'll give you an example. The Garach Mivolozhin. He was the student of the Gaon Mevilna, Agera. And it says that he used to... we are studying in his book. And we are studying Nefesh HaChaim. We always study from his book too. Baruch Hashem, we have the merit and stuff of studying from him. Dear women, so I would like to tell you, what did he used to do? He didn't eat anything unless there was someone to say Amen over what he ate. So once he was studying at night and there was no one, it was cold outside, no one came. He was alone, it was at the middle of the night, he wanted to drink. But he said, how can I drink? I don't have someone to say Amen. So he was waiting, but became more and more thirsty. And he said, God, please, I cannot drink unless there's someone to say Amen. In the middle of the night, he hears knocks, like this. Knocks on the door. He opens the door, he sees one of his students. So he tells him, what happened? I'm happy to have you come in. He says, listen, I was studying the Gemara. I didn't understand something. I came, I have to ask you. It's middle of the night. So he says, wait. I need to say Shakol. You will answer Amen. So he takes the water. He says, Amen. Amen. So dear women, so he says to him, wait, I want to drink water. I'll say Shakol. He says Shakol with Kavanah, dear women. And he says Amen. He answers Amen, his student. Okay? He's sitting with him. He goes in the morning, he sees the student. He says, Baruch Hashem, that God sent you to me. Toda Lael. So the student is looking at him and says, Slicha, his chassid says, I wasn't at your home. He says, in the middle of the night you had a problem with the Gemara. He says, I was sleeping. I don't know what you're talking about. So look how God provides when we truly want to bless. There won't be a problem. It will come, mamash ad elenu. It will come to us. כן, הנה, דוגמה יוכבת. יוכבת, את שומעת? Oh, יופי. So this is an example. If you want something so much truly from your heart, God gives it to you. It's like he's mamash with you and speaking to you and giving you all the answers. But you have to be clean in your heart. You have to truly... יישר כוח, תזכו למצוות.
And there is nobody there.
Sorry?
What if you are working? You're working for 8 hours, 9 hours. You eat something, you less.
So before you eat it, you'll say, God, there's nobody here to answer amen. You'll send an angel to answer amen. You eat, you bless and eat, and God bezat Hashem yidag leze.
No, you just say blessing.
Just blessing. You are not allowed to say the amen. But you say that the only thing that you do before you eat, if there's nobody there, say, God, I want to bless and I want somebody to say amen, but there's nobody here to say amen. Please see to it, either an angel, somebody will say amen for me, and I will eat. Even though you don't hear, because you wanted that somebody, it will be considered like somebody was then asked amen. Can, if you remember, say it, yes. So you can see that what we did over here in Sudat Amenim, over here, look how beautiful it is. Everything with letters. Wait, shh. So what is the book of the human being, dear women? First, before I'm continuing with the book, I stopped here. So I told you we create an angel. So asa mitzvah achat, mosrin lo malach echad. You did one good deed, you have one good angel. But remember, it has to have a soul also, which means a body and a soul. In order to have the soul, you have to, if you have a mitzvah, do it with happiness. Okay? Be happy when you do that. For example, now we are in the month of Adar. And it's written, Mishenichnas Adar, marbin besimcha, nachon? That's what it says. When Adar comes in, the month of Adar, the month of Purim, we should be happy. We should rejoice the whole month. Nobody will ask me over here? Shh. Please, so we'll have time to finish everything. Nobody asked me over here. Tell me. Why is it said, Mishenichnas Adar, marbin besimcha? In the moment the month comes, you have to be more happier. You have to be more joyful. You know, the whole year you should be happy. But mostly in Adar, and not only on Purim. You'll ask me, but why? The miracle happened on the 14th and the 15th of the month. Why does it say that you have to be merrier from the beginning of the month? Lama marbin besimcha mitchilat hachodesh? Why don't we start at the middle of the month, on Purim? Dear women, when the miracle happened, dear women, because look, the months are by what they mean, which means the name of the month pronounces what the month means. For example, the month of Nisan is the month of Nisim, Milshon Nes. So Nisan is Nisim. Look, Nisan, okay, Nisan is Nes, okay? עכשיו we have Iyar, זה אני Hashem Rofecha. I am God, your healer. But Adar, dear women, yes, Adar is אני, זה קריבונו של עולם. א', אלופו של עולם. Okay, you remember that Aleph, so first time writes it with a Vav and two Yudim, which together it's 26, the name of God, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Dar, lives. God comes among us. That's why we should be happy. The Shekhinah surrounds us. This is the time, Dar, Lagur, Gar.
Good angels, right?
Good angels. God Himself comes over here. This is the time before the big miracle of Exodus, before Nisan, before Pesach, before Passover. This is the time of a big miracle that all of our enemies, all Amalek, Haman HaRasha, was this thing. Exactly. Legamre ukhad, dear women. So you have to understand, why are we more merrier? Because God Himself comes over here and lives among us. So He needs to see that we are happy, we are grateful for everything that He gave us. That's why Aleph, Dar, zot means God, Alufo Shel Olam, the King of Kings, lives among us now. He came down over here among us. So this is a very special month, dear women. So everything is by by the names. Again, it comes back to the letters. So let's continue. עשה מצוות הרבה, מוסרים לו מלאכים הרבה לשמרו. You did a lot of good deeds. There are a lot of good angels to protect you, dear women. שנאמר כי מלאכיו יצווה לך. Like in Tehillim it says, dear women, chapter 91, God sends his angels to protect you. כל זמן שאדם הרבה ממצוות, הוא קונה שם טוב לעצמו. When we do more good deeds, you have a good name in the community, in your family. You build a good name. It's very hard to build a good name. It's very easy to ruin a name. Yes.
So you said in 91 of Tehillim, God will send his angel.
Over there it's mentioned, כי מלאכיו יצווה לך, כן.
So that's not the same thing as your guardian angels, the ones that you've had since you were born.
No, this is something else. Those are angels that you create. Okay? You create by doing good deeds. Okay? Those addition to the angels. I hope the angels stay in their places. Okay, dear. ברוכות הבאות. שר כוח. טוב, בואו נמשיך. Okay, let's continue. So it's written, אתה מוצא 3 שמות נקראו לו לאדם. 3 names a human being has. אחד, מה שקוראים לו אביו ואמו. אתם רוצים נפסיק רגע ואז נגמר, כאילו נסתדר? אז בואי שבי כאן, נילה. את בסדר? אוקיי. So, אחד, the first name is the one that his father and mother gave him. The second one is what all of his friends are calling him, dear women. ואחד הוא שקונה לעצמו, that he buys for himself. The name that he made for himself, dear women. Which means, first name, there are 3 names. One that he received from his father and mother. The second one is how all his fellow friends are calling him. And the third one, the name that he made for himself. Which means, if he did good deeds, he has a good name. If he did not do good deeds, so he doesn't have a good name. And the name, usually when you have friends, sometimes they call you, they shorten your name, nickname, okay? But the name that the father and mother gave you, it's under the throne of Hashem. Your father and mother, okay, let's continue. So dear women, so we have 3 names, and I told you the name that his father and mother gives him is under the throne of God. God gives the idea in the mind of the father and mother. How? Sometimes he brings a person to tell them, maybe you should call him this and this. And sometimes they want to call him after the father or mother, grandfather, uncle. So it's not their own thought. God plants the thought in their mind in order that they will call him this name. Why? Because I told you that the prosperity of a human being comes from the name that he was given. Mamash, these are the tubes of prosperity. Look over here. This is Nefesh Chayahu Shmo, which means a living, his life comes from the soul, which is his name. Mamash. Pay attention what's written over here. Nefesh Chayahu Shmo, it means that he becomes a human being, a living thing. All of his livelihood comes from his name. Livelihood, why? Again, because the name Shmo, Shavet Sinor, dear women. Shin is 300 in numerical value, Mem is 40, Vav is 6. So it's 346. Okay? Tzadik is 90, dear women. See, no, I didn't put the Vav here. Tzadik is 90. Nun is 50. Reish is 200. And Vav is 6. 346. You see it? 200, 290, 340, 346. Which means his name is the tube of prosperity. Every letter receives a special tube of prosperity. There are letters that come from judgment. There are letters that come from mercy. There are rough judgment, kashim, strong judgments, letters that are light judgment. We're going to, the coming lessons, we're going to go through it. I will give you the letters. There are letters that are female letters. There are letters that are male letters. There are letters that come from the 4 elements: fire, water, ruach, avir, air, dear women, and afar, dirt, dear women. So for earth, dirt, dust, that's the right word. So 4 elements. It's divided. By knowing from where the letters came, we can know exactly what we are fixing in this world. By doing this pyramid, and I told you, in the lessons you'll understand a little, we're going to build it. So you can see that these letters are giving tube of prosperity for us. Each letter, what happens? The more we do a good deed, it says over here, what is the best name that a person can have is the name that he made for himself.
Right.
Okay? שקנה לעצמו. It's written like this. טוב מכולד מה שקונה הוא לעצמו. תדע לך שהרי בצלאל על ידי שקנה שם טוב זכה שיעשה בניין המשכן. בצלאל, you remember he was 13 years old from the tribe of Judea. He was the one who built the Mishkan with Elyashiv from the tribe of Dan. So because he made himself a good name, he received from God this merit to know the secrets of the Aleph Bet, the holy letters. By knowing the secret, you can, in this world, create things. Metziut, reality. From nothing, reality by knowing the secrets of the Aleph Bet. And no, I don't know. Thank you. But no. Dear women, you understand? So by knowing it, and it's written in the Gemara in several places how our sages did do that, dear women. So now we can see that the best thing King Solomon says, and it's written in here, dear women, we said that also on Shabbat, on the davening of Shacharit on Shabbat, Tov Shem mishemen tov, v'yom hamavet miyov yiveldod. King Solomon says, it's better to have a good name than a good oil, and the day of death is better than the day that you were born. So how come? How come, dear women? Because when you are born, you do not have any good deeds. You didn't do anything yet. But Bezrat Hashem, when you live and you fill in the book, Zeh Sefer Toldot Avam, this is your book, and you filled in this pyramid of all the letters, and they're all shining and big, dear women. So then when you leave the world, you have a merit to go to heaven with all of these clothing. And the letters are shining, and you have a lot of good angels, and you did not only protect yourself, but your children, Klal Yisrael, all the children of Israel, and the whole world, all the nations, by your good deeds. So this is the book that you're writing, dear women. So what is the best name? The best name, dear women, is the name that we made for ourselves by our good deeds. Not that we made out of pride. Listen, look who I am. This is not a good name. But you know, by modesty and just helping and doing mitzvot and good deeds, by doing it quietly, with modesty, and not telling everybody, this is what I did. You know, when we tell everybody, this is what I did, the evil inclination takes a mitzvah. You understand? It takes it. It waits for us. You remember, it waits for us in order to take our mitzvah, dear women. So, dear women, this is Sefer, this is Shmod, the name is the Tube of Prosperity. And we will continue, dear women. So we'll see.
Somebody's book is going to be killed.
So it's a good question. So what happens? It's a good question. When we do good deeds, we fill in the pyramid of the letters in the spiritual world, and they are shining, and they're not broken. Once we transgress, we sin, the pyramid starts to become shorter. You understand? The letters are broken. Some of the lines are wiped totally. They are not there anymore. And it's a short pyramid. The more the pyramid is bigger, this is the more life we have in us. The more good deeds and the more protection we have. Spiritual protection. The less we do, the more we go, God forbid, the more we think we have freedom of choice, and we put, the Word of God next to the things that He did not want us to do in the same level. This is the freedom of choice, and not forcing ourselves to do what God wants us to do. The less the pyramid is, it's shorter, the pyramid of our name. Do a pyramid of your name, and you will see, Be'ezrat Hashem, how it can be very Ein Sof. It's infinity. It does not end. You can continue and continue and continue, and the pyramid is infinity. And each letter is combined of other letters. You remember I showed you? Each letter, like the Aleph, is combined from Vav and 2 Yudim. Okay? 2 letters of... Each one is a different angel. So you know how many angels you create? By just filling the pyramid of your life, which is your book. This is the book of the human being. Each one of us has a book. With this, he comes after that to the true world for judgment. With this book. And everything is open, and they show you. Exactly. And God forbid, if we've sinned, we break it. It's like a book of Torah. If a book of Torah, one of the letters is missing, or part of it is broken, or even there's no space between the letters, between the words where it's supposed to have space, we cannot read from the book of Torah. It's the same thing. We are writing our book of Torah. Mamash. Mamash, truly. Let's look at Moshe Rabbeinu, dear women. Let's look at a name, okay? There's a beautiful thing that is written in Parashat Yitro be'or Torah של רבי פנחס בן זכריה הכהן. It's a beautiful midrash. It's called Or Torah. It's by the Kabbalah. It has all 5 chumashim over here with explanations by the Kabbalah. It's a little bit difficult to understand, dear women, but it's an excellent book. And also Rabbi Shalom Shabazi Mofia Khan, and also there's a lot of, this is a Yemenite midrash. It's an excellent one. It's called Or Torah. It's an excellent book. You can buy it, have it at home. You can try to understand in one book all 5 chumshei Torah. בבחינת מועט שמחזיק מרובה. A small thing that has plenty inside it, because everything that is written, you have to understand, deeply, that to swim into the water. So it's beautiful, it's written beautifully. באמת יישר כוח. אור תורה, אור תורה. רבי פנחס בן זכריה הכהן. Dear women, so let's look what's written over here about Moshe Rabbeinu. Amar, it's beautiful. You look at the words, you want to kiss each word. Because listen how modest was Moshe. Amar Moshe, it's in Parashat Yitro, when the children of Israel were receiving the Torah. So it says, Amar Moshe lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moshe speaks in front of Hashem. Ribono shel olam, God, he says, the King of the world. Mipnei ma ata noten haTorah al yadi. Why do you give the Torah by me? Look how humble he was. We all would want to be there and to be the leader, the king of the Israelites. But he says, why do you give the Torah? Look how humble. And he truly means it. Otherwise, God wouldn't speak to him. He means it from his heart. He does not see himself worthy. So, dear women, he says, מדוע אתה נותן התורה על ידי? אמר לו, God tells him, מפני שהתורה כחשבון שמך. The Torah in numerical value is exactly your name. This is very weird. נכון? תסתכלו, תראו כמה זה. Look, I'm going to show you how beautiful it is. It's also us. Everything is by the letters. All the combination. We have in our name, when we come into this world, we have 2 names. One name is a good name. It's from the good inclination. What God gave us, a good name. But there's also the other name that is not a good name. Also Moshe had it. Everybody has it, because this is from the shell of the serpent that caused us to sin. Because of the sin of we do not know today, but Be'ezrat Hashem, God will give us the merit that it won't be Be'ezrat Hashem. But anyway, everybody goes through chibut kever, because when you go through chibut kever, when a person is buried, and then the angel calls him, okay, I'll tell you this, this name has to go off of us, this shell. But if we don't have other sins, this is a very light shell, and just shaking a little bit and the shell goes. But God forbid, if we have a lot of sins, then the angels shake us. For example, I'll give you, רק נחפש, איפה זה?
שלא תכבי את הטלפון.
לא, אני לא מכבה.
היא שומעת בכלל.
כן. אני לא הבאתי רשות חוכמה. אוקיי, it's not here. Oh, I cannot see it. לא, זה מדרש תנחומה, אני מחפשת הנה, ראשית חוכמה זה שם. זה זז לשם. Okay, so look what happens. I told you there are two names. For example, מה? יוכבת, את שומעת? יוכבת? כן. Okay. Dear women, יישר כוח. So, dear women, for example, טוב, let's look at the רבי מאיר בעל הנס. נכון? רבי מאיר בעל הנס, a very strong name. He lightened the world with his Torah. But what is the name that is the opposite? Ramai. A cheater. This is the klipa. So Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes had two names. Every one of us has two names. One is the good name, and one is the not so good name. By our deeds and by our cleansing ourselves, which means by fixing our midot, by fixing our characteristics. Moshe has the same thing. By fixing our characteristics, we change this so we can help ourselves. By fixing, that's what we are doing. We're studying Tomer Torah Devorah in order to be called a human being and not a beast. Because if we did not fix our characteristics, we're exactly at the level of a beast. We eat, we enjoy this world, and we do not consider what God wants us to do, exactly like a beast. She doesn't have the freedom of choice. We have the freedom of choice. So we can elevate ourselves to the level of a human being, Ramai, a cheater. Okay? We can elevate ourselves to a level of a human being. Every human being, Jewish people and non-Jewish people, it does not matter. Because in the image of God, God created all humanity. So it includes all human beings. We can be in the level of animals, or we can be in the level of a human being. We have to deserve to be called a human being. It's a merit to be called a human being, and it's only by our deeds, dear women. For example, Moshe Rabbeinu, look, Moshe, okay? And the other name, look, the Shama milshon shmama. Shmama is desert, wilderness, nothing. Ve'ine Moshe. Everybody has two names. It's all combination of the letters inside the names, dear women. Everyone has it. So, dear women, let's look over here. What happens if we transgressed, God forbid, and now we have shells of our sin, not only the first human being, but we also have shells of our own, God forbid, sins. Okay, Shelanu. We have also ours. We added. It wasn't enough what we had from the first human being. We added to the shells that we have all over us. So it's written, dear women, Bereshit Chochmah. Reshit Chochmah, Rabbi Eliyahu Dividash wrote it. He was a student of the Ramak of Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, Zchutot Hagen Aleinu. We have the merit to study also from his book. And it's written over here about Chibut HaKever, what happens to a human being once he is put inside the ground. So, שאלו את רבי אליעזר, they asked Rabbi Eliezer, כיצד דין הקבר, what is the judgment in the grave? אמר להם, he told them, בזמן שנפטר אדם מן העולם, when a person passes from this world, בא מלאך המוות, the angel of death comes, ויושב על קברו, he sits on his grave. We went, we are not there anymore. The angel of death sits on his grave, ומכה אותו בידו, he hits him on his hand. And then אומר לו, and he tells him, קום, הגידה לי שמך, stand. Now what do? They make a big hole in the ground, exactly at the height of the human being, and they make him stand over there, inside the grave, dear women. And he tells him, tell me your name. אומר לו, גלוי וידוע לפני מי שאמר והיה העולם, שאיני יודע את שמי. He tells him, now the person that is buried, tells him, they put back this, they put him back, and he says to himself, he tells the angel of death, God knows that I do not know my name. יישר כוח, ברוכה הבאה. היום אני אוספת את כולם, תודה לאל, כן. יישר כוח, יישר כוח. Dear women, so he tells him, I do not know my name. And dear women, I gave you a whole explanation about what happens, why does a person forget his name, but I will give you now in short. In Parashat, in the portion of Pinchas, so you can go back to TorahAnytime.com to the portion of Pinchas. I explained by Zimri ben Salu and the Midianite about how does a person forget his name. But I'm going to give you explanation also here. You remember that this is the pyramid, this is the book of a human being. Once we transgress, what happens is we cause the letters of our name to break or to be missing, mamash, or to become very small. We cause changes in the letters, in the size, in the way they are written. We break them. We cause damage in the letters. Amen. So dear women, dear women, what happens because of that, when we have a lot of sins, the shells are so big around us, so thick and heavy, we do not remember our name. And what does the angel do when we tell, God forbid, when that person tells him that he does not remember his name? מיד מכניס רוח ונשמה בגופו ומעמידו ומחייבו בדין. Immediately they combine back. He combines the angel of death, the soul, and the body together. We do not know that. We are going back home. This is the person that is buried. He combines back the soul and the body immediately, and he judges him. And then listen what happens. Amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, and Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says, חיצי אש ושלשלות ברזל בידו. He holds the angel of death, שלשלות ברזל, chains of iron and חיצים, and arrows of fire, dear women, in his hands, chains of iron and arrows of fire. פעם אחת, and he hits him. פעם אחת איבריו מתפרקים. He breaks all of his organs with the soul inside, because soul feels. That's what I'm telling you. What we feel here is nothing. Nothing לעומת משהו we feel when we pass to the next world. It's nothing over this suffering. It's better to suffer here than to suffer over there, dear women. Say thank you for all your sufferings, everything that you have. Kiss every suffering. Say, God, please, finish it here and don't give me to suffer in the next world. So he hits him until all of his organs are broken. מתפרקים ממש, are out of, break totally. שנייה עצמותיו מתפרקים, his bones, he breaks all of his bones. ובאים מלאכי השרת ומלקטין אותן ומעמידים אותו. Then the angels come and they gather all the bones and everything, put them back in order, and he hits him again. This, dear women, happens approximately 7 days. That's why we sit Shiva 7 days. In order that we will have the sorrow, we just do not know that. We are mishtatfim, we have compassion for the soul for those 7 days that it goes through chibut hakever, in the grave. That's why we sit also the Shiva. This is one of the reasons too, in order that we will pray for him, we'll say Kaddish, we'll say Amen, we'll add all of these prayers. That's why usually that you see, that's why there are some of the Edot that all the time bring people that they will pray and bless over food, because you saw all the blessings, great angels to help the soul, because now, Bametim Chofshi, King David says in chapter 88, in Tehillim, in Tehillim, dear women, that now that he is dead, he cannot do any mitzvah. We are the only ones that can help him. He cannot help himself anymore. So again, they combine him together, all the bones, everything, and he hits him again, dear women, until all of these klipot, those shells, go. And then eventually he remembers his name. But if you're a righteous person, and you have only the klipa the shell of the first human being, a small nidnud, a small shake, and it goes away. But once you have sins, that you are dressed with your sins, what is a sin? Every small thing is even a sin. When we don't cover our hair, it's a sin. Because God told us to cover our hair. When we do not walk tzanua tiyeh im Hashem, tzna lechet im Elokecha, we are not modest, it's a sin. Every small thing that we do, you understand? Over there in the true world, is din vecheshbon, judgment and calculation. We think it's nothing. It's not nothing. When we pass to the next world, we'll understand everything that is written in the Torah is truth. Mamash true. There's no half truths. That's what I told when dear women, when we decide to close our eyes, again, when we know that we need to do that. But the evil inclination tells us, Satan tells us, it's so hard. Look at all your friends. Do it easily. I don't tell you not to do it. But in the flow of your friends, little by little, when everybody does it, you'll do it too. Dear women, there's no time. We have to do what God wants us to do. No time. We are already inside the end of days. There's no time anymore to wait. Nobody knows when he's going to pass to the next world. So if we do not know, we should be in tshuva every day. We should ask, and if it's hard for us, we ask from Hashem to help us. The fixing of midot, because once we decided to do what God wants us to do, it means we took all the pride and all the stubbornness not to listen because of the evil inclination, because of Satan, and we threw it away. And we narrowed his legs. Like we studied, you remember I gave you a lesson about force and choice. We narrowed his legs. We made a very small path for him, because once we conquered another piece, the good inclination is ruling over more of our soul. Do you understand? Ruling over the heart and over the blood, the liver, which means then we are truly a king. We need that the neshama that is in our mind will control what happens in our heart and what happens in our soul, in our blood, in our bloodstream. You remember, this is the neshama is in the mind. In the heart we have the ruach, the second part of the soul, and in the bloodstream we have the nefesh. HaNefesh hu Adam, it says. The blood is the nefesh. That's why there's nefesh tachat nefesh, a soul for a soul, dear women. So let's continue. So I told you over here, Moshe Rabbeinu is so humble. He says, why do you give through me the whole Torah? God tells him, because your name, that's calculation, cheshbon mamash. This is calculation, mamash. This is what I'm showing you. Everything is mamash. Everything goes by calculation, by the letters. He says, your name is exactly the whole Torah. And how come? So look, let's look. Oh, okay. So we have Moshe. Look, Moshe Rabbeinu. Let's look. Mem is 40, and you'll do the calculation, okay? And you'll give me the answer. Shin is 300, Hey is 5, so this is 345. Okay? Now, Reish is 200, Bet is 2, Yud is 10, Nun is 50, and Vav is 6. How much is it? 260. No, Shishim. 268. Okay, how much is it together? 613. Taryag mitzvot. The name of Moshe Rabbeinu is exact. Lo Arav Moshe, or Rabbi Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is exactly Torah. God tells him, you are the one to give the Torah because your name includes all the Torah. Look how it's about, and more than that, look, Moshe, תסתכלו, מה זה משה? השם. השם. And מה זה? הנה השם, תסתכלו. He tells us the secret inside Moshe Rabbeinu's name. The secret is the name. Because nefesh chaya hu shmo. The name is the tube of prosperity. I'm just giving you a glance, just a sight to see deeply more. You love it, and I love it. God, I love you, Baruch Hashem. I have to tell you, the mashu. Just look, everything is inside. You see it over here? נשמה, יש לך את השאלה, תשאלי אותי יותר מאוחר. טוב, תרשמי לך את זה ותשאלי אותי. So you see Moshe Rabbeinu, now let's continue. Let's see what God told him more, dear women. So we continue and we see. He says, אמר לו, ריבונו של עולם, כל המצוות תרי"ג וכולם רומזים עליי ואני אדם אחד. He says, God, okay, you told me that the calculation of my name is the whole amount of mitzvot, commandments that the Jewish nation has to follow. He says, but I'm only one human being. I'm only one person, he says. Who says, אם כן, למה אמרו כל דבר שבקדושה לא יהיה בפחות מ10? He says, so why did you say that everything that בקדושה, you need 10 people, minyan? Look, the questions are beautiful. He says, why do you tell me that you need 10 people in order to have a minyan, he says. He says, it's enough one person, because here my name is already all the mitzvot. So by what you told me, it means that it's enough one person. אמר לו, משה הוא אומר לו, Moshe, he says, you are equal to 10 people. So how come you are equal to 10 people, dear women? So let's look. Can I wipe this? Yes. Okay. Let's start filling the name Moshe. Okay? As a mem, I'm filling his name. B'milui otiyot, mem. Then I have shin. Okay? And then I have hey. Nachon? We have Moshe, we have hey. Let's continue. Let's look now at the numerical value of Moshe. Mem is 40, another mem is another 40. Together it's 80. Okay? Shin is 300, Yud is 10, Nun is 50. So it's 360. Hey is 5, another hey is 5, this is 10. How much is it together? 360 plus 80 is 440, and then 10, 450. Okay? So how come his name is 10 times a human being? Can I wipe this? I don't want to wipe this. Look how beautiful it is. How do we know that he equals 10 times a human being? A human being in Hebrew is Adam. Aleph is 1, Dalet is 4, Mem is 40, 45. The name of Moshe in filling the letters is 450, 10 times 45. Moshe Rabbeinu equals a minyan. Look how beautiful. So it's astonishing. You understand? We know now what was the rule of Moshe Rabbeinu. He included all the children of Israel inside him. And how do we know that? Only by his name. By analyzing his name. כי הקדוש ברוך הוא נתן לה, אמרת לכם, it doesn't matter, God gives the idea to a person how to call his child. Dear women, you can see Moshe Rabbeinu is 10 times a human being, Adam. Which means that's why B'Kedusha there has to be בminyan 10 men. Because Moshe is נכון, בן אדם אחד, but he equals. תסתכלו כמה זה יפה. מה? תסתכלו, כי משתה אותו, אבל לא סתם נתן לה, ועוד היא חזרה בתשובה והיא עלתה השמיימה בלי למות. She went to heaven, Batya, the daughter of Paro, without dying. כן? היא ושרח בת אשר ועוד כמה נשים, 10 נשים עלו לשמיימה בלי מיתה. Batya, בת פרו, the daughter of Paro, she became Jewish. She followed God, dear women, and she went to heaven without passing away. She's one of the 10 people. So look at what kind of merit. So, dear women, Moshe Rabbeinu equals. But also, dear women, Moshe Rabbeinu, his name equals all. Where does the Torah come from? Wisdom, from Chokhmah. And Moshe Rabbeinu, we know that by his name that the Torah comes from Midat HaChokhmah. How do we know that? I'll write it here, okay? Otherwise it will be a miss. Over here I'll write it. Let's look at Chokhmah is wisdom, okay? רגע.
45.
חוכמה. Okay? Look, dear women. This is the word chokhmah, dear women. So let's fill in chokhmah. We have chet, okay, chaf, we have mem, and we have hey. Okay, let's do the calculation. Chet, taf is 400, yud is 10, chet is 8. So we have over here 418. Okay, chaf is 20. Pei is 80, we have 100 here. Mem is 40, and another mem is another 40. How much is it? 80. And we have over here, hey is 5, and yud is 10, which means 15. How much is it together?
Sometimes you write hey as hey.
כן, זה במילוי אותיות. מילוי אותיות. hey יכול להיכתב hey א', יכול להיכתב hey hey, ויכול להיכתב hey יוד. And this is part of the names of God. I will give it to you, I will give it to you in one, not this lesson, I will make you a list. So you'll know exactly. אותיות הוויה של הקדוש ברוך הוא, יש להם כמה מילואים. Okay? But I will give it to you not now. So look. אז יכול להיות לו כמה צירופים. אבל זה, אם את סופרת אותם, זה אותו דבר. זה עדיין שתי אותיות. כל אחד מהם. Okay, so how much is it, dear women?
No.
No, 400 and 518. 518 plus 80. And plus 15. It's 613, dear women. Taryag mitzvot. Dear women, it's exactly Moshe Rabbeinu. חוכמה במילוי אותיות, בגימטריה זה תרי"ג, זה 613. If you add everything together, it's תרי"ג 418 plus 100 plus 80 plus 15, it's 613, which is exactly Moshe Rabbeinu, and exactly, dear women, תרי"ג mitzvot. And it comes from the midah of chokhmah. So Moshe Rabbeinu had everything inside. He had the whole Torah inside. He got the merit to know it by heart. God gave him the gift to know the Torah by heart. Mamash 40 days and 40 nights he was studying, and for every day he studied, he forgot everything. At the end of the 40 days, God gave him the Torah, gave him the memory as a gift. He remembered all the Torah. Why? Because God said He wanted, so He tested him. Said He wanted so much, he had so much sorrow that he did not remember the Torah. And for 40 days and 40 nights, and without eating, without drinking, dear women, like an angel, God says this is His gift. So if we want something like Yochevet, that wanted to listen to the shiur very much, dear women, I have another student that calls from Florida, Ken, in Brooklyn. Every lesson she calls, and she's with us in the lesson on the phone. So, dear women, so if we truly want something, everything is possible. God will give it from our hearts, dear women. When we are clean in our hearts, truly, when can we be clean with our hearts? When we cleanse our measures, when we fix our characteristics. This is the essence of studying Tomer Devorah. This is the essence of having a good eye. Tov ayin yevorach. It says, a person with a good eye, he will be blessed. The Torah says, don't treat it as he will be blessed. He will bless others. Then his blessing will come true. Because who is rich? Only a person who is satisfied for the things that God gave him in this world. You just heard about chibut hakever, what happens to a person in the grave, to the body of the person that we put in the grave. Dear women, we should be happy with everything that God gave us. All the suffering is for the best, for the good. Dear women, everything, our meal, this is what we need for this fixing. God knows exactly. He controls everything that you see around you. So He knows exactly what we truly need. We do not need more than what He gave us. And if we need more, He will give it to us. And sometimes we think that something that we need is good for us, but eventually, if we look at in the future, it's not so good for us. So God prevents it from us. So He knows what He does. There's a time and place for everything, says King Solomon, dear women. So now we just started, we'll continue next time. Now we can see that Nefesh Chaya, the livelihood of a human being, is truly His name. It's the name of prosperity. It's above Him, and we receive from our letters, if we don't ruin what we receive good things from Hashem. Everything changes with the letters when it comes to us. If we did good deeds, the letters stay exactly like it came, dear women. If God forbid we transgressed, we did a sin, the letters change the place inside the word, and instead of a good thing, it becomes a bad thing, but it's because of us. It's our responsibility. Look, we are at the edge of a big war. World War III, we are exactly at the edge, dear women. Who caused us? Us. It's not God. God gave us everything. He gave us food. We have food to feed the whole world. Nobody in the world should be hungry. Nobody. There's nobody in the world that should be without clothing. Nobody in the world that should be without a roof over his head. The problem is the evil inclination. It causes separation, dear women. It causes jealousy. Jealousy causes separation. Why? Because we think we are better than others. Why he has and I don't have? We do not understand why we came to this world. The only thing we came to do is to fill in the book. Every human being in the world, Jewish people and non-Jewish people, the nations, came to fill the book. How do we fill the book? By building the pyramid of good deeds. גם הם, בצלם אלוקים ברא את האדם. כולם מתקנים. כולם מתקנים. לכולם יש תפקיד. You have to understand, everybody has a job in this world. God did not bring any soul in vain. There's nothing like this. Everybody has a part to do in the soul and in the world, and together it's filling a big puzzle, putting everything in place. If
they don't do it.
Everybody, in a minute I'll answer it. Everybody has a place. When there's going to be Mashiach is going to be, there are going to be Jewish people that are going to be alive, and non-Jewish people that are going to have the merit to be alive. Who will be alive? Those who fix their characteristics. Those who recognize God in this world. Those who admitted that what is written in the Torah, in the Bible, is true, dear women. Which means the children of Israel are the firstborn of God. All of them are the children of Israel. All of them are the children of God. Because B'Tselem Elokim bara et Adam. In the image of God, God created all humanity. But the children of Israel are His firstborns. They have 620 commandments to fulfill. 613 from the Torah and 7 commandments from Rabbanan, from the sages. And the nations, they have 7 mitzvot named Noach. That's what's written. If they will do their job and we will do our job, it's heaven on earth. There's peace on earth. No problem. Heaven will be here. If each and every one of us will do the job. The children of Israel will keep the 620 commandments, and all the nations, the 7 commandments of Noach. Everything is in its place, exactly like God wanted from Bereshit. No problems. Dear women, with these words I would like to, בעזרת Hashem, bless us. שיגיע המשיח צדקנו במהרה ממנו אמן. שיגיע מבשר אליהו נביא זכור לטוב. לעולם יפרד אדם מחברו בדבר הלכה יחיד ורבים הלכה כרבים. God bless you.